Hello, curious minds, and welcome. For all of you out there mastering the art of English, we know this journey is.
Well, it's fascinating, isn't it? But it can also feel like a really challenging adventure sometimes. Those early days of describing appearance, they often start simply, I have blonde hair and blue eyes.
Right, and those foundational phrases are absolutely crucial. They
Mm.
really are. They get the message across.
We build confidence, yeah. But what if you want to paint a richer picture, a more vibrant picture with your words?
hmm
What if you want to move beyond just communicating and truly captivate your listener, make your descriptions sound incredibly nuanced and sophisticated?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. We are embarking on a deep dive into the fascinating world of advanced English vocabulary for describing physical appearance.
Yeah.
And this isn't just about collecting new words. It's about adding texture, depth, personality to your descriptions, moving you into what's often considered C1
Hmm.
and even C2 level English. We're aiming to help you transform those basic observations into, well, vivid narratives, making your English not just correct, but truly compelling, memorable.
What's truly insightful here, I think, is that while those basic descriptions certainly get the job done,
Yeah, they do.
a rich and precise vocabulary allows you to convey the subtle nuances of human appearance in a way that just resonates more deeply.
Oh, the nuance.
Exactly. It's about observing the world with a keener eye, taking in those finer, often overlooked details, and then articulating those observations with incredible precision. And this brings an interesting question to the forefront. How does our deliberate choice of words influence not just what we say, but also what others perceive, what they feel?
That's a great point.
So when you can describe someone as, say, windswept, rather than just messy or maybe lanky instead of just tall and thin, you're not just speaking, you're creating this vivid, almost cinematic image. You're crafting like a beautiful piece of text that truly captivates the imagination of your listener. It elevates your communication from just informing to
Wow.
truly engaging.
Our mission in this deep dive, then, is to give you the practical tools to do just that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll explore words and phrases that go way beyond the basics. We'll take you on a journey through different life stages, seeing how our appearance and the sophisticated language we use to describe it naturally evolves over time. Prepare for those wonderful aha moments. We hope you'll have a few as we uncover some surprising facts, maybe share a few personal anecdotes,
Yeah.
and infuse just enough humor to make these advanced concepts really stick in your mind. We want you to feel confident and excited and empowered about using these new words.
And to make this journey truly comprehensive and hopefully engaging for the logophiles among you,
Oh, the word lovers.
exactly, those who genuinely adore words and appreciate their transformative power. We'll be looking at how we describe, say, the innocence and charm of childhood, the often awkward and intensely self-conscious teenage years,
Oh, yes.
the evolving realities of present-day self-perception, and even how we might envision our future selves. All of this viewed through the powerful lens of sophisticated English vocabulary.
Okay.
It's about building a richer, more precise, and ultimately more impactful linguistic toolkit.
Okay, let's unpack this journey, though, starting right at the very beginning. Childhood.
Right.
When we conjure images of children, our minds often drift to innocence, boundless energy, and, well, undeniable cuteness.
Sure.
But even here, describing these earliest stages, we can find incredibly descriptive C1 level words that go way beyond just cute or sweet.
Mm.
Imagine, for instance, a child with a cascade of blonde hair,
Mm-hmm.
looking quite angelic.
Yeah.
It immediately sets a vibrant scene, doesn't it?
It really does. It paints a picture that's so much more vivid, more evocative than just saying long blonde hair.
Mhm.
It hints at something ethereal almost, otherworldly, and you've hit on a perfect starting point there. The word angelic itself is a wonderful example of this advanced precision we're aiming for.
Mhm.
While its primary definition is quite straightforward, like an angel, its true power and what makes it a C1 level descriptor lies in its rich nuance.
How so?
Well, it can certainly describe a physical appearance that is beautiful, ethereal, or maybe exquisitely delicate, suggesting a purity or an almost otherworldly grace
Okay.
that seems untouched by the everyday. But crucially, angelic can also extend to personality,
Ah,
implying someone who is exceptionally good, kind, or benevolent, whose inner beauty seems to shine through. Consider this example. Ali had an angelic smile, and no one could stay angry with her for long. See, here, the word does much more than just tell us her smile was pretty.
Right.
It suggests an inherent goodness, a radiating warmth that kind of disarms anger and fosters affection. It hints at a deeper character, maybe even an emotional impact she has on those around her. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, using angelic elevates a simple description of a face into, well, a profound statement about a person's essence.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It prompts us to consider how much personality, how much inner quality we can actually convey through carefully chosen appearance descriptors, and how these specific words can hint at a deeper character or the emotional resonance a person carries.
It suggests a sort of harmony, then, between inner disposition and outer expression.
Exactly, creating a holistic and deeply impressionistic portrait.
That's where it truly comes alive for me. It's not just about how someone looks, it's about the feeling they evoke, the emotional landscape they create around them. An angelic smile makes you feel something beyond just seeing a pretty face. It creates an instant connection, a sense of warmth, maybe even forgiveness or solace. That's a far richer description than just a nice smile.
Precisely. It speaks volumes about the child's spirit. And continuing with those charming childhood features, let's turn our attention to the delightful word dimple.
Ah, dimples.
Yes. This is defined as a small crease or indentation, typically found next to the mouth, particularly when someone smiles, or sometimes on the chin. The nuance here is that dimples are almost universally associated with charm and cuteness. They add a uniquely appealing, often playful detail to a face. For instance, whenever she smiled, her dimples would appear, making her look even more charming.
Such a cute word.
It is. And this leads us to an interesting question. How do seemingly minor physical details like a dimple contribute to an overall impression of charm or distinctiveness? How do they make someone instantly more memorable?
It's interesting. I hadn't thought about it quite like that.
Well, a dimple isn't just a physical mark. It's often a catalyst for a positive emotional response in others. It acts as a visual cue that enhances the expression of joy or warmth or friendliness.
Like it emphasizes the smile.
Exactly. Think about the cultural perception of dimples. They are almost universally seen as attractive, perhaps because they accentuate a smile. It demonstrates how specific, even small, physical features can evoke a broader, more profound sense of appeal.
Making someone more endearing, maybe. Easier to remember.
Precisely. These kinds of precise details are what truly elevate a description, adding a layer of observational sophistication.
Oh, dimple is such a wonderfully evocative and cute word. It's those little details that really bring a description to life, isn't it? I remember my brother had these gorgeous dimples, and I always adored them. They just added such character and a playful sparkle to his smile, almost like nature's own little exclamation points on a joyful expression.
Hey, that's a lovely way to put it.
It's those unexpected, charming features that truly stand out. Okay, so from these innocent early years, brimming with angelic smiles and charming dimples, we often transition into a period of intense self-discovery and, let's be honest, sometimes overwhelming self-consciousness, the teenage years.
Ah, yes.
It's a time when every aspect of our appearance seems to take on monumental importance, often leading to, well, a good deal of experimentation. The teenage years, a truly tumultuous yet formative time. Appearance often becomes incredibly important, a central part of identity formation. It's when we start to, shall we say, manage our looks with varying degrees of success and, occasionally, regret.
Yes.
My own vivid memories involve grabbing a pair of tweezers and getting to work on my eyebrows, often with results that, in hindsight, well, they were less than flattering.
We've all been there, I think.
It's a period of intense experimentation, often driven by peer influence, evolving ideas of beauty, the desperate desire to fit in or stand out.
And that very act of managing one's appearance introduces some excellent advanced vocabulary. Let's delve into tweezers and the verb to pluck. Tweezers are, tiny tongs, a precision tool essential for grasping and removing small objects like splinters or, as you mentioned, individual hairs.
Right, the tool itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For example, Alex used tweezers to remove a thorn from his finger. Simple enough.
Got it.
Then the verb to pluck specifically means to pull out hairs with tweezers or fingers. Interestingly, pluck also has other uses, like plucking a string on a violin or harp.
Oh, yeah.
Which just shows the versatility of English.
It does.
But related to appearance, you might hear. Jules plucked her eyebrows every week to maintain a neat appearance.
Right, the action.
Yes. And this usage highlights a fascinating aspect of linguistic precision. While the verb tweeze also exists,
I've heard that.
Pluck often conveys a slightly more deliberate, perhaps even a slightly painful removal of individual hairs, one by one.
Ah, okay. More specific.
Exactly. If we connect this to the broader cultural picture, it illustrates how verbs, not just adjectives, can significantly deepen our descriptions of appearance-related actions and routines. It reflects a widespread cultural practice of meticulously managing one's looks during that formative period. It's often seen as a rite of passage for many teenagers navigating grooming and self-presentation.
It's a small word, pluck, but it encapsulates a whole ritual, really.
It does.
It's quite fascinating how it applies to both beauty routines and musical instruments. Really, it shows the versatility. So it's not just removing hair, it's the delicate, precise, often repetitive act of plucking. It implies commitment to a look.
Precisely. Okay, moving on to another key aspect of teenage self-consciousness, and indeed, appearance throughout life: complexion.
Complexion, right.
This is a C1 level word. It refers to the natural color, texture, and overall appearance of your skin, especially your face.
So more than just skin color.
Much more. Its nuance lies in its comprehensiveness. It's holistic. It considers multiple factors. And it's often used most effectively when paired with an adjective, like a pale complexion, a clear complexion, rosy complexion.
Okay.
Take the example. Lots of English people have quite a pale complexion and burn badly in the sun.
Yep, sounds familiar.
Chuckles. This brings up an interesting question. How does our complexion tell a story? Maybe about our heritage, our environment, even our lifestyle. Complexion offers a far more nuanced discussion than just skin color. It allows for detailed conversations about skin health, how different environmental factors like sun or pollution affect the skin,
Right.
the influence of genetics, and even varying cultural beauty standards associated with different skin tones and textures.
It's the overall canvas of the face, reflecting loads of things.
Exactly. A word that really adds depth.
Oh, my complexion has always been pretty pale. More like ghostly, if I'm being brutally honest.
Boss.
I remember being so incredibly jealous of friends who had that lovely golden tan after summer holidays. It was always a sun-kissed goal I never quite reached without, well, usually a little bit of orange involved.
Ah, the perils of fake tan.
Exactly. Which leads us perfectly into two wonderfully descriptive and somewhat contrasting terms, sun-kissed and tangoed.
Yes. They perfectly illustrate the difference between aspiration and, well, sometimes reality. Indeed, sun-kissed first, it's generally universally seen as a positive adjective.
Definitely.
It describes skin that has achieved a browner, healthy-looking color from time spent naturally in the sun, implying a desirable golden glow that suggests good health, a relaxed lifestyle.
And it could be for hair, too, right? Lighter streaks.
Yes, exactly. It can also refer to hair that has been lightened or perhaps acquired a few natural highlights or a touch of red from sun exposure. For example, Jane looked like a vision with her summer dress and sun-kissed skin. It evokes natural beauty, warmth, vitality.
The dream.
The dream. However, as you hinted, achieving that perfect, effortless look doesn't always go to plan, especially when we try to enhance it ourselves.
Groans playfully.
And that's where the wonderfully descriptive and often humorous term tangoed comes in.
Ah, my personal nemesis. I've always dreamed of being sun-kissed, that perfect, effortless, natural glow. But let's be honest, for me, it often ends with me looking a bit, well, tangoed from a fake tan gone wrong.
Well,
And this isn't just a random word, is it? It's a very specific and quite amusing cultural reference here in the UK.
explain it for our listeners who might not know.
Okay, so Tango is a popular brand of intensely orange-colored soft drink. Back in the 90s, they had this really famous advertising campaign where people would literally be slapped by an orange-colored person.
Oh, I remember that.
And then they would turn bright orange themselves, accompanied by the unforgettable slogan, "You've been tangoed."
Evil. It was quite something.
So if someone's fake tan has gone a bit too orange, or they've applied too much, or it's just looking terribly unnatural, we'll jokingly and often affectionately say, "Oh no, you look like you've been tangoed."
It's a vivid, slightly self-deprecating, and very British way to describe that particular beauty mishap.
Exactly. It's about the desire for a beautiful tan, contrasting with the unintended, often comical, bright orange result.
That's a brilliant explanation, and a perfect example of how language, particularly slang, can capture both a desirable aesthetic, sun-kissed, and a humorous, almost cautionary outcome,
Yeah.
tangoed.
Yeah.
The latter, while informal, provides a culturally specific, vividly memorable, and often witty way to describe it. It shows how language adapts organically to describe shared experiences and observations, often with a touch of clever humor.
Makes it stick in your mind.
It really does. It paints such a clear picture.
Now, switching gears slightly from tanning mishaps,
Mm.
let's talk about stature, height.
Okay.
I've always been a bit, shall we say, vertically challenged myself, standing at a modest 5'1".
Chuckles.
And it's a phrase I'm perfectly fine with. I often use it myself. It's interesting, too, how we commonly use 5 foot tall versus 5 feet tall interchangeably in conversation. Both are fine.
Right.
So, for example, Ruth was only 5 foot tall and often joked about being vertically challenged. It's a gentle, humorous way to acknowledge it.
This brings to mind an important point about polite language and the use of humor, especially when discussing physical attributes that might otherwise be perceived negatively or cause discomfort.
Euphemisms, right?
Exactly. Vertically challenged is a classic example of a euphemism, a mild or indirect expression substituted for one considered too harsh or blunt. It demonstrates how we can soften descriptions to be more sensitive, respectful, or even playful.
So it's C1 because it's idiomatic.
Yes, partly. You wouldn't understand its meaning just from the individual words. And it requires an understanding of social nuance. You need to know when and with whom it's appropriate to use it.
Context again.
Absolutely. Its effectiveness depends heavily on context and the relationship between speakers. It highlights the importance of social intelligence in choosing descriptive language. It allows us to be both respectful and lighthearted.
Okay. Well, while I was, and still am, vertically challenged, my husband, Will, was definitely lanky as a teenager.
Ah, lanky.
He's filled out now, thankfully. Quite tall and muscular. But I distinctly remember those awkward phases for many of my friends, too, where they seemed to grow limbs first.
Yes.
And the rest of their body had to catch up.
Lanky is an incredibly specific and descriptive word, particularly useful for characterizing teenagers or young adults.
So what's the exact meaning?
It means tall and thin in a slightly awkward or ungraceful way. It often implies a gangliness or a body that hasn't quite caught up with its rapid growth.
Right, that awkwardness.
Precisely. It's not necessarily a compliment to call someone lanky, but it's not always an insult either. It just accurately captures a particular, often temporary stage of physical development.
Like the example.
Yeah. As a teenager, Benji was lanky and had to grow into his long limbs.
Makes sense.
If we consider the broader implications, lanky is very precise. It captures that age-related physical awkwardness. It's not simply thin or tall. It implies that almost uncoordinated length that all arms and legs appearance common during growth spurts.
It evokes a very particular visual image.
It does, a sense of being slightly out of sync with one's own body. This specificity is why it's so effective at an advanced level. It gives a precise and evocative understanding of that temporary physical state.
Highlighting the sometimes uncomfortable reality of those changing bodies.
Exactly. Okay, so from these sometimes awkward teenage years full of growth spurts and self-conscious moments, let's fast forward to the present day, where our perspective on appearance often shifts and hopefully matures a bit.
Yes, hopefully. Now, as we approach our late 20s, or maybe beyond, those worries about appearance, they tend to fade a bit, don't they? Or at least shift significantly.
I think so, for many people.
That intense, often all-consuming self-scrutiny of our youth often gives way to a more mature, more balanced perspective. For me, it's very much what's on the inside that counts these days.
Ah, a classic phrase.
It is, and it feels like a powerful and liberating shift in priorities, focusing more on character, values, genuine connections, rather than just superficiality.
That phrase, "it's what's on the inside that counts," is truly fascinating in how it encapsulates a profound philosophical belief and cultural value.
It's more than just a saying.
Absolutely. This isn't just a description, it's a powerful value statement. Its definition is clear. Character, moral integrity, personal values are ultimately more important, more enduring than fleeting physical looks. For instance, she believes that true beauty comes from kindness and compassion. It's what's on the inside that counts. This idiom profoundly challenges us to look beyond the immediate visual, to consider the deeper essence of a person. It's a crucial phrase for understanding how English speakers, particularly in Western cultures, discuss beauty, worth, human connection.
Signaling a maturity in perspective, valuing substance over surface.
Precisely. It's a phrase that resonates deeply in our culture, often used to console, to advise, or just to state a profound truth about human nature. It encourages a more empathetic, holistic view of individuals.
It's a beautiful and constant reminder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Grounding us in what truly matters beyond superficiality, encouraging us to look for the goodness, the integrity, the warmth within people.
Yeah.
It's a very comforting and empowering thought, actually, especially in a world often overly focused on external appearances.
Agreed.
Okay, now let's talk about the more relaxed, perhaps less polished
Yeah.
side of present-day appearance.
Chuckles.
This next word is one I identify with sometimes, especially after a particularly enthusiastic walk with my dog on a wet, muddy morning.
I think I know where you're going.
It's so easy to confuse unkempt with unkept, but the distinction is really important for precise, sophisticated communication. Getting this right shows a real grasp of advanced English.
You've highlighted a crucial distinction for advanced learners. The word unkempt specifically means untidy or not properly cared for, and it relates directly to a person's appearance.
Right. Hair, clothes.
Exactly. Think of unkempt hair, unkempt clothes, or just an overall unkempt look. And the key here for both pronunciation and spelling is that MPIC sound at the end. Unkempt. Got it.
Now, unkept, on the other hand, while it also means not tidy or not cared for, typically refers to things or places, not a person's individual look.
Like an unkept garden.
Exactly. Or an unkept promise, maybe,
Right.
but not an unkept person.
Okay, that's clear. The example, Tom's unkempt hair and wrinkled clothes made it look like he had just rolled out of bed, perfectly illustrates the correct usage for a person.
Right.
This subtle but significant difference is a hallmark of C1 level understanding. It allows you to be much more accurate, avoid common errors, and demonstrate a mastery of those subtle linguistic rules.
Choosing the exact right word.
That's it, painting the precise picture you intend.
That distinction is so helpful. And now, picture that unkempt look and then add a bit of windswept hair to it.
Okay.
It immediately paints a very specific picture of natural disarray, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
you've just come in from a brisk walk on a blustery day.
Yeah, or maybe emerged from some thrilling adventure where the elements played a starring role.
Exactly.
Windswept is indeed a very evocative adjective, and it's distinct from simply messy or unkempt. Its definition is straightforward, looking like you've been in strong wind, typically used for hair, but it can extend to an overall appearance.
Like the example.
Yeah, you look a bit windswept. Have you been outside in the storm?
Simple enough.
Simple enough. But if we connect this to the broader picture of descriptive language, windswept is much more than just a synonym for disheveled. It tells a story.
Ah,
A story of exposure to the elements, of movement, of being out in nature. It's a word that adds a layer of narrative and dynamism to a simple description.
drawing a more engaging, active image than just messy hair.
Exactly. It brings a sense of activity and an external force to the description, creating a richer mental image.
I really love this next word. Scruffy.
Ah, scruffy, a great word.
It perfectly captures that comfortable, practical, often well-worn, but not so polished look, especially when you're doing something active or potentially dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Like the example, when I walk my dog, I put on my scruffiest clothes as I know they're going to get muddy.
Right.
It's a word that implies a certain level of unpretentiousness and comfort rather than just being outright dirty.
This highlights how some descriptive words carry connotations that extend far beyond their literal meaning. Scruffy implies untidy or dirty in appearance, yes.
Yeah.
But it often suggests a certain lack of concern for meticulous tidiness. Perhaps a relaxed, casual, or even rugged attitude. This makes it far more expressive than just dirty or untidy.
So it suggests a lifestyle or an intentional choice, not just an accident.
Often, yes. It can convey a personality trait, someone who prioritizes comfort or utility over pristine appearance alongside the physical description. It's about being comfortable with being less than immaculate, and there's a certain charm in that sometimes.
Definitely. Now, here's where it truly gets interesting, because this next phrase, to scrub up well, perfectly describes that delightful transformation
Ah, yes.
from maybe a scruffy, perhaps unkempt look to something quite impressive.
Yeah.
It's often used with a sense of pleasant surprise, almost the gentle tease.
Chuckles, yes.
It implies a potential for hidden beauty or elegance that just needs a bit of effort to reveal. I remember growing up in a rural area, and many of my friends were farmers. Most days they'd be covered in mud, grease, animal feed, genuinely scruffy.
Right. Practical work clothes.
Totally. But when it was time for a wedding or a big party, they would dress to the nines.
Meaning dressed up.
Exactly, in the most elegant formal clothes, looking absolutely transformed. And the most common phrase you'd hear when everyone saw each other, often with a nudge or a wink, was, Wow, you scrub up well, don't you?
Laughs, I can picture it.
It means you look exceptionally nice when you make an effort, when you actually put on nice things and pay attention to your appearance. So, a great example is, Pete is usually in shorts and a t-shirt, but he scrubs up well on special occasions.
It's a lovely, understated compliment.
It really is.
That anecdote perfectly captures the social dynamic embedded within this phrase. To scrub up well speaks volumes about perception, effort, and social expectation.
How so?
Well, it implies that a person's everyday appearance might be casual, unassuming, maybe even a bit rugged, but they possess the undeniable ability to look quite distinguished, elegant, or handsome when the occasion calls for it. It's a very British, understated compliment that genuinely acknowledges effort and transformation. It links appearance to the specific context of an occasion and the social expectations that come with
A
it.
nuanced way to pay a compliment, considering their usual look.
Exactly, often with a hint of admiration for their versatility.
Okay, this next point isn't strictly about static physical features, but it dramatically impacts how we wear our appearance and how others perceive us, often more than any single item of clothing or hairstyle.
What are you thinking of?
I'm talking about posture.
Posture. Yes. Crucial.
Shoulders back, chin up.
Yeah.
It's something I often have to remind myself throughout the day. So what does this all mean for conveying confidence, presence, even a sense of well-being?
Posture is defined as the position you hold your body in, particularly your neck, shoulders, and back when standing or sitting. And you've touched on a truly critical point. It's not just physical alignment. It profoundly impacts how you feel and how others perceive you. A person with good posture, upright, confident, shoulders back but relaxed, typically appears more self-assured, more alert, even more approachable and authoritative.
And poor posture.
Conversely, poor posture, slouching, hunched shoulders can convey a lack of confidence, disinterest, fatigue, maybe even defensiveness.
It sends a signal.
A powerful one. The pronunciation is also interesting for advanced learners. That T and J sound blending to create a chos sound. Posture, may pontor, like in Tuesday or tuna.
Posture, okay.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, posture is a critical, often subconscious element of nonverbal communication. How we present ourselves. It profoundly affects first impressions and ongoing perceptions.
Suggesting confidence, health, vitality, or the lack thereof.
Exactly. It reminds us that describing appearance isn't just about static features, it's about dynamic presentation. How the body communicates without words.
Which raises an important question.
Mhm.
How much can we infer about a person just from their posture alone? And how much can we consciously control that message?
It's a subtle yet incredibly powerful signal. Okay. So from the present, where we're balancing effort and authenticity, let's now bravely peer into the future.
Gulps playfully.
Let's explore how we describe the natural beauty of aging.
Okay, now for the scariest part of this deep dive for many of us. Looking into the future. Acknowledging the changes that come with age.
Chuckles. It's inevitable.
It is. It's a natural and inevitable part of life. And thankfully, our language allows us to describe these changes beautifully, with grace, respect, even a touch of poetry and humor.
We don't have to shy away from it or frame it negatively.
No, we can embrace it with rich, nuanced vocabulary that celebrates the journey.
Indeed. And one of the most distinguished, often admired ways to describe the changes in hair color as we age is salt and pepper.
Ah, yes. Classic.
This term is used to describe hair that has two colors mixed together, typically one dark and one light, most often black and white. It's important to note that salt and pepper is the common and culturally preferred order in English. While you might occasionally hear pepper and salt, it's significantly less frequent. Sounds a bit off.
Salt and pepper. Got it.
The nuance here is crucial. It often implies a distinguished, mature, sophisticated look, rather than just simply gray or white hair, which can sometimes carry more neutral or even negative connotations.
It sounds more appealing.
It often does. Consider the example. Bill's salt and pepper beard gave him a distinguished appearance, reflecting years of experience and quiet wisdom.
Nice.
What's fascinating here is how a common culinary term is repurposed to create such a precise, elegant, and positive description.
Like from the kitchen to the hair salon.
Exactly. Salt and pepper is a C1 descriptor because it's idiomatic, highly visual, and instantly conjures a specific, often admired image of graceful aging, frequently associated with wisdom, experience, distinction.
It shows how English uses creative comparisons to enrich vocabulary.
beautifully, making descriptions more vivid, evocative, and imbued with positive connotations. It transforms a simple biological change into almost a statement of character.
I can almost perfectly visualize my husband Will's salt and pepper hair popping as he gets older, and I think it will look incredibly distinguished on him.
I am sure it will.
It's such a vivid, immediately recognizable description. It conveys maturity and character rather than just saying, he's going gray, which can sound a bit plain, maybe even negative. It's a far more appealing and respectful term.
Agreed. And naturally, as we move through life and gain experience, wrinkles become a part of our story.
Yep, unavoidable.
A wrinkle is simply a small line on the skin, often caused by aging, but also by repetitive facial expressions, sun exposure, daily life.
Just happens.
Just happens. While wrinkle is a fairly straightforward term, the context in which it's used, particularly the idea of embracing them, elevates its meaning significantly for advanced learners, infuses it with deeper significance.
Like how the source suggested.
Exactly. The source beautifully suggests embracing them as they tell the story of a lifetime of smiles and laughter.
That's lovely.
It brings to mind an important question. How do we choose words that reflect our attitude towards aging? And how can language influence our perception of these natural changes? Using words that frame wrinkles not just as simple signs of age, but as narratives of a life well lived, filled with joy, thought, emotion transforms a neutral descriptor into something imbued with emotional weight, a profoundly positive connotation.
It encourages us to think about the emotional depth carried by these words.
Yes, and how we can use language to challenge conventional, often negative, views on aging. This linguistic reframing encourages a more accepting, celebratory perspective on the physical marks of time.
Wrinkles are definitely an inevitable and beautiful part of life, aren't they? And it's so true that the way we talk about them can completely change their meaning, shifting them from simple signs of age to, well, beautiful stories etched onto our skin, testaments to a life fully lived.
It's all about perspective.
And language helps us shape that perspective.
Okay, and building on that positive, celebratory perspective, let's talk about crow's feet. Also, and perhaps more beautifully, known as laughter lines.
Yes.
I love the image of a crow kicking you in the face, which is apparently where the term comes from. Those little lines resembling a crow's foot spreading from the corner of the eye.
Laughs. It's quite a visual.
But more beautifully, the idea of laughter lines tells such a profoundly positive story about a life filled with joy, humor, happiness.
You've perfectly captured the essence of these terms. If we connect this to the broader picture of how language shapes our reality, crow's feet perfectly illustrates how specific vocabulary can transform a physical sign of aging into a positive, even cherished attribute.
So they're the small lines around the corners of the eyes.
Yes, caused by aging, but as you rightly point out, predominantly by years of laughter, smiling, expressing joy. The alternative term, laughter lines, explicitly reinforces this sentiment of a joyful and expressive life.
It's a much nicer name. It is. This is a C1 term not only because it's specific, idiomatic, and highly visual, but also because it carries such a rich emotional connotation.
Right.
It shows how nuanced language can reshape our perception of beauty and experience, inviting us to celebrate the visible markers of a life filled with happiness and heartfelt emotion, rather than just seeing them as imperfections to be hidden or erased.
A wonderful example of linguistic reframing.
Exactly, where a physical detail becomes a badge of a life well lived.
Wow, what a deep dive, seriously. We've journeyed from angelic childhoods and the charm of a dimple, through lanky teenage years and the challenge of a tangoed fake tan.
Chuckles.
We've navigated unkempt modern days with maybe a bit of windswept hair, rediscovered that it's what's on the inside that counts,
Crucial.
learn the power of scrubbing up well, and even embrace salt and pepper futures, complete with beautiful laughter lines.
We covered a lot.
We did. You've just expanded your vocabulary way beyond the basics, giving you the power to describe appearance with incredible richness and detail. These words aren't just advanced, they're expressive, evocative, culturally resonant. They allow you to paint truly vivid pictures with your English.
Now it's your turn. We've given you a collection of powerful tools, and this brings an important question to mind. How will you integrate and use them?
The homework.
The homework. Should you choose to accept it? Try to describe your own appearance, or maybe that of a celebrity, a character from a book, someone you admire, using as many of these advanced words and phrases as you can.
Ooh, good challenge.
Pay particular attention to the nuanced details. the subtle stories they tell about personality, experience, or emotion. Consider how this deeper vocabulary allows you to see and express the world differently.
What new insights does it give you?
Exactly. What new insights into the people and appearances around you? Try to really integrate them into your active vocabulary. Maybe even write a short paragraph or two.
That's a great way to practice. Remember, every new word you learn is another brushstroke in your mastery of English. It adds depth and vibrancy to your linguistic palette. It's a challenge, yes, but it's also an incredible reward, that ability to express yourself with true artistry and precision. Don't be afraid to experiment, to make mistakes,
Absolutely not.
and to celebrate every single new word you add to your repertoire. You're building a truly robust and beautiful command of this language, and that dedication will shine through.
Well said.
So if you found this deep dive valuable, please make sure to like this deep dive, share it with fellow English learners who are also on this fantastic journey,
Yeah, spread the word.
and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any future deep dives into fascinating topics. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning.
And keep diving deep.